Now, given that there's been a lot of things happening between the Mandoverse and exactly all the other Star Wars film announcements, such as the Rey movie, the New Republic film by Dave Filoni, as well as Dawn of the Jedi, all working hand in hand together, we also have a lot of things coming out of the books, the novels, the comics, and the video games that's really going to truly fill in the gaps between all of those projects. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And without further ado, let's get right into this. Now, what's really interesting about Pedro Pascal, alright, the guy who portrays Din Djarin in the Mandalorian series, he's been very direct with the fans the past couple of months. Ever since, of course, Mando Season 3 got out there, and it came to a conclusion just late last month of April, there's been a lot of things going on ever since then, where he's been unveiling a lot more truths about The Mandalorian Season 3, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and a whole lot more in different aspects of all of that. We know that given that Mando Season 3 had such a large backlash over the fact of how the story was driven by Kathleen Kennedy while they were in the pre-production phase, and how John and Dave really didn't have all that much control as we initially thought. The common misconception was that Kathleen Kennedy was not involved, where in reality, yeah, she wasn't involved. It's just that she was not involved only during principal photography, aka filming, but she was involved in the script writing process. So, now that John and Dave are 100% on their own with Mando Season 4, Ahsoka, and more, what's interesting is exactly what Pedro had to say about everything related to something truly revealing about the third season. Now, with actor Pedro Pascal recently delivering new truths about Lucasfilm and their take on the Star Wars franchise, he recently went on to discuss something very revealing about the third season of Mando. Pedro stated the following: "So one thing I know is that everything wasn't up to John and Dave, and Kathy really wanted to use Season 3 as an homage to The Last Jedi. There was a time when she was trying to get Rian Johnson on board of this episode as a director for the third season, and due to his scheduling, he couldn't really get involved, but she did want to honor him and his movie in Season 3. This is why you see so many parallels from the middle film of the sequels in the finale, such as Praetorian Guards, the destruction of the Darksaber between both Bo-Katan and Gideon, that was essentially her callback to Rey and Kylo fighting over the Skywalker saber, and it's something that she truly wanted to honor. Other little things I will point out is that when Grogu is creating that Force shield and protecting Bo and Din from the fire, visually this was a way to honor Yoda's appearance in front of a fire in The Last Jedi on that island. Now, let me just stop here about what Pedro is talking about. Now, what's interesting is Kathleen Kennedy really went out of her way to make the finale an homage to The Last Jedi. Now, though I will say I enjoyed bits and pieces of the finale of Mando Season 3, there were a lot of things in there that really upset me. Killing off Paz Vizsla was a big mistake by the Praetorian Guards. It really made no sense at all whatsoever. He could have easily bailed out of there, went along with the group if he wanted to, but he was just sacrificed for no reason really at all. What purpose did he really do, right? They already were out of their way, out of the exit, and he got killed. Basically, the same exact thing could have happened if he just left with them. So it would have made no sense. Now, the thing about this, too, is how Pedro points out all the similarities and the parallels to that of The Last Jedi. The Praetorian Guards, how there's a fight in one circular area, how there's also a homage to a very popular weapon getting destroyed. You know, the Darksaber and the Skywalker saber. Don't be too surprised if John and Dave kind of pull a J.J. Abrams here, where they fix the Darksaber in Season 4, by the way. I would not be all that shocked. Now, the other thing that he does point out is Grogu in front of the fire. How that is reminiscent of Yoda in front of the fire at the middle point of The Last Jedi, or toward the end of the middle of The Last Jedi, I should say. Now, the thing about this is that what's really revealing is Kathleen Kennedy initially wanted Rian Johnson on as a director for the finale, since she was always going to make the finale an homage to The Last Jedi. And that makes a lot of sense now, and especially after Pedro pointing these little things out, I don't know how on earth we all missed this. I don't know if you guys did, but I sure did. I didn't really notice some of the little tiny similarities here and there, such as Grogu in front of the fire and Yoda in front of the fire, little things like that. But moving on, alright, Pedro goes on to state the following. Now, really, the finale of Season 3 she wanted to make as a love letter to The Last Jedi, since Kathy felt that it was her best success in Star Wars, and we knew going in that we weren't going to please everyone with this finale, but she wanted to recreate the visuals of The Last Jedi into the finale episode, of course, to give it a similar tone to fans, and to the fans of the sequels. I know John and Dave are now on their own with 4, so I don't know what's going on to happen with that yet. I should be reading the script maybe by this summer. They are going to be essentially resetting The Mandalorian in an exciting way. Is that all I can really say? So Pedro is confirming here that Mando 4 is basically going to be a reset of the franchise, or the series, I should say. And that's actually pretty, revealing, the fact that they want to kind of just start fresh and start new. That it's no longer going to be about saving Mandalore or anything to do with the mythosaur or anything like that, or the mythosaur. Anything like that, it's going to be completely put to the wayside. Now it's strictly going to be about Din going about his business, hunting down, Imperial remnants, going on different missions here and there, and that's basically what they are doing. They're also going to be dragging in a lot of Star Wars Legends content into Mando Season 4. One thing that we do know that has been developing behind closed doors is that Luke is going to be a very big influence again in Mando Season 4, so keep an eye open for that. I think that's going to be a great thing to look forward to, but moving to the next thing here about Pedro is that it seems like Pedro, he's not really taking a side here. He's just kind of delivering what Kathy did. He's not saying if he hated the finale here or if he loved the finale being a homage to The Last Jedi. And it really is revealing that this was Kathy's plan all along, to eventually bring on Rian Johnson for Mando Season 3's finale as a director, and how when that did not happen, she decided let's carry on with the, being reminiscent of The Last Jedi anyways. So, I don't know if you guys like that or dislike that, but me particularly, I was not a fan of the Praetorian Guards becoming a focus in the finale and killing off Paz Vizsla. It almost was like a very odd piece of symbolism that the sequel trilogy is dominating what John and Dave were trying to do with original characters coming to life that we've never seen before or experienced before. And you have these sequel trilogy characters just diminishing them. It's almost like a piece of symbolism in a way, done intentionally. But hey, that's maybe a little crazy, but that's just how I saw things. But what's interesting about this too, that I think a lot of fans need to realize, is that John and Dave didn't really have all that much control, especially over the finale. And I'm sure, as you all know, since John is not a fan of The Last Jedi, he probably did not like this at all one bit. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.